Hey everyone, I just recently watched a video about a kid coming out to his family, even though they were in a religious home and knew that the reactions were not going to be what they expected, to be hurtful, but they were true to themselves. As the video went on, the parents completely were outraged and were volatile to their child. They were screaming obscenities and disowning their child right there for us to see. And after watching that and watching the reactions of other LGBT people watch that video, I've come to the decision that I do need to tell you my story. When I was 17, my stepfather, who is now no longer with us, told me, let's start back a little further. I was 15. We were at my cousin's funeral, who had died from a brush fire accident. And for some family members, you know who I'm talking about. I was told before the funeral ever started by my stepfather at the time, why is it that the good die and I'm left here with your piece of shit ass? You're the one that should have went. I'm 15 at this time, and I am told that because of who I am, I'm a piece of shit and I should have died in place of someone who was straight in a brush fire accident. What kind of person tells that to a young child, a teenager, one who's going through so many emotional ups and downs? You know how badly that affected me? It made me feel worthless. It made me feel like I couldn't be trusted, that I couldn't trust how I felt, because everywhere I turned, he was telling me that it was wrong, that I didn't deserve to be here because of who I am. They always downgraded me. They always told me what a piece of shit, what a lousy person I am. At the age of 17, the living environment at home was not stable, and I got in a little bit of legal trouble. I'll leave the specifics of that situation out of this video for now. But when I was done with that situation, I no longer could go home. I went and stayed with other family on my dad's side. And that family member knows exactly who that person is. And I'm going to say this, and I love that family member with all my heart, but what that family member did, I know that member of the family, that they were doing what was right and what they felt was right. But because of who I am, didn't know how to react. I went to an all-boys home for Christian. I got there and they went through my things. The officials went through the notes that I had from friends in a 3-ring binder. And at this point, they decided that I wasn't worth keeping because they found through those letters that I talked to my friends that I was gay. They returned everything to me except for that binder. And I had to go back to where I came from because they didn't know how to deal with it either. I went back to that family. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. I left. I moved in with various people, did various things I'm not proud of to this day. I missed a whole half of my senior year, the first half of my senior year. On Christmas Day of 2004, I got a phone call from my mom, and we talked about me coming home. And at that point, that's all I wanted to do was to go home. I loved my mom. She was not even a part of that. And probably up to the day she passed away, she did not know what had transpired between me and my stepfather on that day when I was 15. Why would I want to hurt her like that? I want to fast forward to the point where I came home, and it's now 3 days after my 18th birthday. I've been home for a couple of months. My stepfather comes in, and he says, I need you to pack all your things, and I need you to leave. I asked him why. He said, now that you're 18, the state no longer can tell me I have to let you live here. I later found out that the only reason I came home was because the state told him to. I packed my things, called up a family member, and went to live with them until I graduated from high school. I had a wonderful, wonderful rest of my senior year. I was able to go to my prom with my best lesbian gal pal. You know who you are when you see this video. And I was able to graduate on time. The only one that showed up to my graduation, apart from the family member I was living with at the time, was my mom. She walked to where it was, that away. Her husband, my ex-stepfather, would not know that she took the car. And she came and said, I couldn't miss your special day. And for that, I'll always love her. But I'll also hate the fact that she allowed that to happen. Whether you are currently going through this situation or have been through the situation of the coming out process or been hated against, there are people out there who love you and support you and will help you through the day. Because if you can get through today, there will be a brighter tomorrow. I want to say I love you all. And I hope that whoever watches this, it helps. Even if it only helps one person. Thank you. Remember, always be kind to one another.